Welcome back once again, all of my low-carb friends, and for those of you who are here for the first time, a big welcome to you all. One of my favorite go-to breakfasts is a toasted bagel and a cup of coffee. It's easy, it's quick, it's delicious. But as we all know, you buy those bagels in the store, they are loaded with carbs and sugars and all kinds of other garbage that we don't want in our food. So today, I am going to show you how to make a very quick, very easy keto coconut flour bagel. This is so easy, and one of my favorite things about it is that it requires no yeast. So I don't have to wait for my bagels to rise. All I need to do is mix it, bake it, bam, it's ready to eat. Now you might have noticed that I do have another bagel recipe on this channel, but that bagel recipe is made with almond flour and psyllium husk powder, and not everybody can have almond flour. So I figure, hey, we need to make a bagel recipe that is better and that everyone can enjoy. And so this recipe, anybody can have, and I personally think it tastes better than the almond flour one. That one's good, but this one's great. And I'm also going to teach you how to make a very quick, very easy keto hot mocha latte. This goes perfect with these bagels, or anything else for that matter. And if you want printable versions of these, you can check out my website at janetsdeliciouslowcarbkitchen.com. You can find printable versions of these and other goodies there for you. And if you're new to the channel and you want to see lots of easy, delicious keto recipes, make sure you click that subscribe button and click the notification bell that's right next to the subscribe button. That way you can be notified every time I put out a new video. And if you'd like to help to support the channel, make sure you scroll down in the description of the video. You'll see some Amazon affiliate links. Anytime you purchase anything using my Amazon affiliate link, a small portion will go to me, which will help to support the channel. Even if you don't want the item that it routes you to, you just go to the Amazon search bar. As long as you are using my affiliate link, whatever you purchase on Amazon, a small portion will go to me, which will help to support the channel. And while you do all that, let's get cooking. Preheat your oven to 400 degrees. Lightly spray 6 donut molds. I would suggest using a silicone donut pan if you have it. The metal donut pans tend to stick more than the silicone ones. The silicone ones, the bagels pop right out of. So if you have the option, use a silicone one. If not, metal pans will work. Just make sure you grease the pans a little bit more if you're using a metal donut pan. If you don't have donut molds, you can make molds out of foil. I'll put a link in the description to my article on how to do that. And I'll also put a link in the description to my almond flour bagel recipe, and that can give you a little bit more of an idea of how to shape the bagel in a foil holder. So if you don't have donut molds or bagel molds, you can still make these using foil molds. Just make sure you do spray them. Once the donut cavities are greased, set it aside. In a large mixer bowl, combine a half cup of coconut flour, a half teaspoon of salt, a half teaspoon of xanthan gum, and 1 tablespoon of baking powder. Whisk these all together until they're fully combined and there are no lumps in the flour. If you want, you can sift these in instead of whisking them. Either way, whether you whisk or sift, make sure there are no lumps in your coconut flour. Once the dry ingredients are all whisked together, if you want to, you can add some dry spices. I'm adding 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon and a half teaspoon of ground nutmeg. If you want a sweet tasting bagel, you can whisk in about a tablespoon of the sweetener of your choice. If you'd rather have a more savory bagel, you can add in some garlic powder or some onion powder or some dried herbs. Or you can just leave all the seasonings and stuff out if you just want a neutral flavor bagel. It's up to you how you want it to taste. Just whisk it all together. Add 5 large room temperature eggs. Make sure they are room temperature. That way your batter comes together a lot more smooth. Beat the ingredients together on low for about 10 seconds or just until the dry ingredients are moist. Then increase the speed to medium and beat on medium for about 30 seconds or until everything is fully combined. You can also whisk this by hand if you want to. You don't have to use a standing mixer. Beating this with a hand mixer or a wooden spoon works just as well. Just make sure everything is fully combined. Scrape down the sides of the bowl if needed. Add 1/3 cup of the oil of your choice or melted butter. I'm using canola oil. You can use any oil or melted butter that you want. Beat it on medium again for another 30 seconds or until everything is fully combined and the batter is smooth. Scrape down the sides of the bowl once again and push all the ingredients to the center of the bowl. Spoon the batter evenly into each of the greased donut cavities. It's roughly about 4 tablespoons of batter per donut cavity if you want to measure it out that way. Just make sure it is evenly divided. Once it's all spooned out, use a knife and spread the batter around until it is even throughout the entire donut cavity. You do want to make sure it is even on all sides. You don't want one side of your bagel to be big and the other side to be flat, so make sure it's even around the whole donut cavity. Once your batter is all divided and smooth, then if you are using a silicone donut pan, I like to put it on a cookie sheet whenever I'm baking because it makes it more stable and easier to take in and out in the oven. So place your silicone pan on a cookie sheet if you want. If you're using the metal pans, you don't have to worry about that. Then place it in your preheated oven and bake at 400 degrees for about 15 minutes or until lightly golden around the edges and a tester comes out clean. For me, 15 minutes was perfect, but everyone's oven is different. So if your oven tends to run a little hotter, then you might want to check it at about 12 minutes. Either way, you're looking for it to be golden around the edges and a tester to come out clean. Once they're all baked, remove them from the oven. They will still be a little bit soft. Gluten-free baked goods should be soft when you first take them out of the oven, but they will firm up as they cool. Allow them to cool in the pan for about 10 to 15 minutes or until they've firmed up enough to where you can easily remove them from the pan without them falling apart on you. After they've cooled and firmed up, remove them from the molds and transfer them to a wire rack and allow them to cool completely before eating them. Once they're done cooling, slice the bagels in half. You can eat them just as they are, or you can top them with some butter or cream cheese or however you choose to top them. Also, if you want, before you bake them, if you want a more glossy looking top, you can brush them lightly with an egg wash, which basically is just 1 egg and 1 tablespoon of milk or water. You whisk them together. Then you use a silicone brush or a pastry brush, brush it over the tops of your bagels before you bake them, and they come out with a glossy top if you like a glossy top. You can also top them with chia or flax seeds if you like that before you bake them. You can sprinkle them over the top. However you want to eat them, it's up to you. Just eat and enjoy. For the mocha latte, in a blender, combine 1 cup of strong hot coffee or espresso, 1/4 cup of the milk of your choice, 2 tablespoons of keto chocolate syrup. I didn't buy any special syrup. All I did was melt a little bit of chocolate chips with a little bit of coconut oil and whisked it together, and that's my syrup. That's what I used. Or if you don't want to use a syrup, you can use 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder. If you do that, you'll want to increase your sweetener because cocoa powder can have a bite to it. So if you choose to use the cocoa powder, you will want to use more sweetener. Add 1 tablespoon of coconut oil. I know this sounds like a weird thing to put in your coffee, but it makes it really creamy and frothy. And it also gives you the extra benefit of the MCTs in your latte. So not only does it make it taste good, it's got a health benefit there for you. Add around 5 to 7 drops of liquid stevia or up to 2 tablespoons of monk fruit sweetener or the granulated sweetener of your choice. You can use more or less of this depending on how sweet you want your latte. Again, remember, if you use the cocoa powder instead of the syrup, you will probably need to use more sweetener. So it's up to you on how sweet you want that. Add a half teaspoon of vanilla extract. And I like to throw a little spice in it, so I add 1/4 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. You don't have to put that in there if you don't want a little bit of spice to it, but personally, I like that a lot. Then blend on medium for about 30 seconds or until everything is fully combined and it's frothy on top. Once it's all combined and nice and frothy, pour it into the mug of your choice. If you want to, you can top it with some keto whipped cream, and I'll put a link in the description to my quick keto whipped cream. I just like to drizzle a little bit more of the chocolate syrup on it, and it tastes really good that way. It's up to you whether you want to do that or not. Either way, drink it just as it is or serve it with the bagels, however you want to enjoy it. Just drink it and enjoy it. And that's our recipe of the day. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did and you want to see more videos like this, make sure you click the thumbs up like button, click the subscribe button, leave me a comment if you want to. Let me know if there's any recipes that you'd like to learn how to make, and I'll do what I can to get those out there for you. And as always, keep cooking.